Welcome, people, to Bam Lamal. Today, we are discussing the Money in the Bank pay per view, coming live from the Scotia Bank Arena in Toronto, Canada. As usual for these Triple H premium live events, there are 5 matches, two of them being the title matches, the Money in the Bank ladder matches for the men's and women's contracts. I can't lie to you people, this is one of the most unpredictable pay-per-views this year. Because who is actually going to be Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank? So, without further ado, let's discuss it. First off, I am discussing the match between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is a last chance match for Seth Rollins to actually challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Damian Priest is champion. But if Damian Priest loses the World Heavyweight Championship, he is out of Judgment Day. So, if you have been watching Raw, you should see that there has been a lot of tension between the members of the Judgment Day, specifically Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio, and Damian Priest and the rest of the Judgment Day just in general. Without Rhea Ripley, it's all been falling apart, and the other person that has been causing all of this friction is none other than Liv Morgan. Liv has just taken herself to a whole new level. I feel as if that she has taken herself to a certain level of stardom just because she is just because of her aura, man. Her aura is just dragging her through this run. She's great. Even her matches. Let's not discredit that. She has been very, very good. She had a very good match against Zelina Vega on Raw. That compared to what she's been doing with Dom, that would make any man fold. Any man would fold to Liv Morgan. Comment and let me know. Or would you not fold to Liv Morgan? If you won't, tell me why. But let's be honest. In this match, right, it's probably going to go one of two ways. You will get some interference from Judgment Day, definitely. Probably from Finn and the rest of the Judgment Day. But I see Damien still retaining. And this could also be the night where the split happens, where Judgment Day falls apart. Either because of Liv being you know what, let's cause more friction in Judgment Day. I want Dom to actually be, the top dog in Judgment Day. Dom being this guy's acting too much like my father, let's kick him out. Or even Finn being I'm sick of this guy. He's holding us back. He's the one that turned on us. We didn't turn on him. Because if you watch, right, look at the subtle differences in the presentation of Judgment Day compared to Damian Priest. The music with Judgment Day is a lot darker. The presentation is a lot darker. When you look at Damian Priest, it's a lot more brighter. He's wearing his own merch. He's coming in alone a lot more by himself. And he's trying to make excuses for why he's more of a solo act compared to when Rhea was world champion. Because when Rhea was world champion, Rhea was with the group. Rhea sacrificed herself for the group. You could say that Rhea had less matches, less singles matches and feuds, but was more a part of Judgment Day than Damian Priest is actually currently. So yeah, I feel like Damian Priest will actually win this match. He will move on to SummerSlam, where he will face Gunther and probably lose it. Because it's Gunther. Gunther deserves that. And yeah, let's not discredit Gunther. Gunther will probably win it at SummerSlam. But let's also not discredit the run that Damian Priest has had, where people thought it was a transitional champion. Meanwhile, he has been one of the best champions on the brand, and on the roster, actually. So, The next match we are going to look forward to is the match for the Intercontinental Championship between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. So, this match has been built up as the crowning moment of Braun Breaker. Will it actually be? I don't think so. I think that there will be a lot of interference again. I feel as if this will lead to like a massive fatal four-way between Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. I feel like all of these parts that have just been shaped against and like molded differently in like one-on-one matches will finally come together. So they will come together for like a very interesting match, a very hard-hitting fatal four-way, because all of these guys can be very physical. Sami Zayn has done like the hard-hitting stuff before. Braun Breaker, very vicious with the spears. Sheamus, hard-hitting as hell. And Ludwig Kaiser has just stepped in his own as a singles competitor outside the shadow of Imperium and Gunther. So I do think that Sami Zayn will retain in this match. I feel as if the shenanigans will just rain up on this match, where I feel like Sheamus will come out, then Ludwig Kaiser would come out, then disqualification, and then just brawl, and then we'll continue that onto Raw, and then build that up till SummerSlam. But it would be a very, very fun match. Like, they'll give it like 15 minutes. Sammy and Braun will just go at each other. We will see the strength of Braun Breaker versus like the ingenuity and the agility of Sami Zayn. And that would be a very, very fun match. The next match is a 6-man tag match between the World Heavyweight Champion, Cody Rhodes, the Viper, the Legend Killer, or Legend, he's still a legend, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. So, in this match, it's just a very, very big spotlight for members of the Bloodline. With whatever trio they will use for that match, whether it would be Solo and the Tonga brothers, or Tonga Loa Tama Tonga, or it's probably going to be Jacob Fatu, Solo, and Tama Tonga, as those are the most like established ones there, and you'd want to build up someone like Jacob Fatu, so that would probably be my lineup for the Bloodline. Also, let's not get it twisted. This version of the Bloodline is very, very dangerous. It's one of not my favorite, right? My favorite will always be 1.0 with Roman, Sami, and the Usos, and like Solo also at the back, just laying there as the silent killer of the group. But this version has its own twist on it, where Solo is like the delusional leader of the Bloodline, where he can just boss everyone around thinking he is the tribal chief. Meanwhile, he's not. But in this match, I feel like this match is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. A lot of like hard-hitting spots. They probably won't use a table spot because it is a regular tag team match. And I feel like this will also be another like interesting build to SummerSlam, as I feel that the Bloodline are actually going to win this match, take the momentum forward to where at SummerSlam we will get Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the WWE Championship. Cody will probably get... I don't think Cody will get pinned in this match. I feel as if it would probably be Kevin Owens, and that's where the feud will continue. And then, the big question: will any of the OG Bloodline members make like a return, like Jimmy or even Roman? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it should happen. I feel like we should hold it off till SummerSlam, to where we get a much bigger pop. But if you do want to do it, maybe like a Jimmy, It's possible. You could do it, and then you get Jay to also come in, and you get a more interesting, more fleshed out match, I guess. Um, Something very fun that you could pull out of as a surprise. Um, so we go into our final two matches. These are for the various briefcases for the men's and women's Money in the Bank. The first one that I will be tackling is the women's, which is contested by Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. This match is probably one of the easier ones to predict compared to the men's one. I've got two picks. I've got Chelsea Green and I've got Tiffany Stratton. The reasons of why I picked Tiffany and Chelsea is that both of these people would be suited to something like the Money in the Bank briefcase, where they can lose matches, like actual matches, but still have that briefcase as like an insurance policy of when they want to cash in. Something sort of like when Seth was Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, where he would lose matches, but it doesn't really ruin his credibility because he's still got the briefcase, right? But obviously you can't go around squashing them. Let's not do that. Let's keep them winning, but limit the squashes. We can make them lose, but limit the squashes that actually happen around them. I can't go Naomi because I feel like she's there to be like the Kofi Kingston of the match, where she'll do insane like ladder spots and everything. Same with Zoe Stark. Lyra Valkyria and Io Sky are involved in a feud, so I don't think that will lead to any of them winning. Um, Io Sky specifically won the briefcase last year, so I don't think she's going to go back to back. If she did, she would be the third person behind Punk and Carmella, surprisingly. But I do not think that she would actually win this match. So Chelsea Green, or more specifically Tiffany Stratton, because of the fact that also, if Tiffany wins, and then Nia Jax wins at SummerSlam, what happens to that dynamic and friendship going forward? Because Tiffany has been protected by Nia Jax. So what happens to that dynamic once Tiffany actually wins the briefcase? Do they become enemies? Is it like a frenemy type thing that happens? We will just have to wait and see what happens at the next few pay-per-views. The main event, or my main event, is the men's Money in the Bank briefcase match. This match is very, very unpredictable because the contestants are the Yeet Maker himself, Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, that man don't miss, Andrade, Chad Gable, L.A. Knight, and Drew McIntyre, the Scottish warrior, the Scottish psychopath at this point, because of the things that he's been doing to Punk. I think that this match is a very, very, very tough match to predict. One of the toughest and most unpredictable matches in a very, very long time. Because literally anyone could win this match. Anyone could actually win this match. You could give it to Jay, continue his rise to the top, but actually give him an opportunity to actually win it because he has the briefcase now. But then again, he could be screwed by the bloodline and then enter that feud. You could give it to Carmelo Hayes, let him build up his stock, let him build up the aura and the character of Carmelo Hayes with that briefcase, let him customize it, let him do whatever he needs to do with it. You could also give it to Andrade, which is one of my kind of picks for this. You could let him just win this thing, let him build up his own stock, where people aren't going to be saying, no, he's buried, which he isn't, because he's speed champion, right? Even though no one cares about the WWE Speed Championship. Let him win Money in the Bank. Show that he is a very, very dominant force within the WWE, and he's not just here to be a a jobber, huh, you could give it to LA Knight, but I don't think they will. The main reason I don't think they would give it to LA Knight is because he is involved in a feud with Logan Paul. I feel like Logan Paul is going to screw him out. And you're not going to give it to Drew McIntyre because the punk element of it, where he is going to be screwed out by either CM Punk or a returning. And I mean a returning. If this happens, I will pop. A returning AJ Lee. So Drew McIntyre, no. And LA Knight, no, because of the feuds that they are involved in. But the person that I feel should win this match should be Chad Gable. Like, despite the Wyatt 6 things, right? Chad Gable has gone on to another level. He has entered another stratosphere which I never saw him getting to because of previous booking stuff. But now I feel like this is his time. This is his moment to actually seize the spotlight, and then move on to like the feud with the Wyatt 6, where they are going after him because he betrayed family. But he found a new one in like the new Alpha Academy. So you could do variations of matches. You could do old Alpha Academy versus the new one. You could do new Alpha Academy against the Wyatt 6. Like even if like Gable wins it, and then the Wyatt 6 appears, and then he runs away, but he has the briefcase. It's still fine. As long as Chad Gable wins that briefcase, he takes it, and then he cashes in on Gunther at Bash in Berlin to get his revenge. I feel like that would be a more satisfying story in terms of Chad Gable. People, I'm going to leave you with a bit of trivia. So, I have 2 pieces of trivia that I found out online about the Money in the Bank briefcase. So, the first one is that we all know that the women's has a 100% record with Money in the Bank cash-ins, winning and then cashing it in. With the men's, it is at 73%. So 73% of people have actually won the Money in the Bank briefcase, with the people failing being John Cena, Damien Sandow, Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman, and Austin Theory. Those were the only men that actually failed to actually cash in. But can you tell me, right, who has held the briefcase for the longest time, like combined longest time? Yeah, just let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I will be back with another video of the review for Money in the Bank. Don't forget to watch the shorts. Signing out, Bam Lamau, out.